What's up, friends? How y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. I want to stop right now and say thank you all for looking at another video that I'm getting ready to do. I thank you all for the support. I thank you for the ones that have looked at the video, that have taken notice of the videos that I do. And some of you have subscribed. Some of you have left comments. Some of you have, even given me a thumbs up. But also I want you to share these videos. I want you to tell somebody about who I am and what my niche is. It's all about relationships. It's all about loving people, loving God, and doing things the right way. Several months ago, I did a video on the Songs of Solomon. I did a video on the Songs of Song. And if you know anything about the Songs of Solomon was a book, that has to do with poems, that has to do with poetry, has to do with love and relationships. And some people have even thought that the Song of Solomon should not even been part of the Biblios, of the Bible, of the books of the Bible. Some people thought that it was too raunchy, it was too, graphic for it to be a part of the Bible. But if you know anything about love, you know anything about romance, if you know anything about relationships was built by God. Love was built about God. Marriage was built by God. For the Bible says in the book of Genesis, he said, therefore shall man leave mother and father, shall cleave unto his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So God instituted marriage. God instituted relationships even before there was ever anything else, before there was a church, before there was a church of this, a church of that, there was marriage. And not only did he institute marriage, he also said that he did not believe in divorce. He did not believe in, giving a right of divorce. But he said, but he did that because of people's hardness of their heart. Therefore, why he gave them a bill of divorcement. So God always believed in wanted marriages to last. He wanted relationships to last, but because of men's hardness, because of men, they went away and started, giving away divorcements and giving away separations and stuff like that. But if, I'm here to talk about the Songs of Solomon. Songs of Solomon is a great book. It is actually one of my favorite books in the Bible. I love reading the Bible, but when it comes to the Songs of Solomon, it's just something that takes my breath away because I'm a person that believes in relationships. And a lot of people have talked to me, a lot of people have got it when we say, Jesse, well, all you talk about is relationships, all you talk about is love, all you talk about is marriage and God and stuff like that. And I say, well, that should be a good thing, because if you can't be motivated to help build a relationship, why you be so motivated to tear down a relationship? A lot of people, they all about, well, misery love company. I'm not in a good relationship. Therefore, I'm going to do everything I can to destroy a relationship. But I take notice of that, and I feel as though one day God is going to hold you accountable for how you destroy somebody's relationship, how you have come against relationship and God relationships. He's going to take notice of that, and he's going to hold you accountable for those things. But when it comes to the Songs of Solomon is a good book, a book that I love reading because it talks about the main characters in the Songs of Solomon. It talks about the Shulamite woman. It talks about the man, it talks about the daughters of Jerusalem, and it talks about the brothers. And in this plot, it has a plot of, courtship. It has something to do with marriage, and has to, the wedding, and it has to do with marriage. And I was looking at that thing. In order to have a good relationship, as pertains to a man and a woman, you've got to have a good courtship. You've got to have a courtship. It is very displeasing when you just jump from knowing a person to 2 months later you want to marry that person. You've got to understand, well, why do I want to court you? Or what makes me intrigued by you? Do you have good credit? Do you want to work? Can you cook? Are we compatible in different areas? You got to, when you're courting a person, when you're courting a man, when you're courting a woman, you've got to first have a type of courtship. You've got to understand what is you about. What are your what your hobbies, what do you like doing, what do you do not like doing. You've got to find out what makes that man tick, what makes that woman tick, because If you just in for the ride, if you were just in it because she's fine right now, she's she's 36, 24, 36, she's a brick house, or he has a nice car, he has a nice bill, sooner or later that might not be there. Then will you stick in that relationship? Will you stick with that person and say, well, he used to be 36, 24, 36, she used to be stacked, she used to have a nice bill, but now she's 40, 30, 20, or whatever the case is. Can you still love that person? Can you still be there with that person when he has lost his job, when he don't have the nice car anymore, he don't have that nice physique anymore? Can you still stick with that man in the midst of all the ups and the downs, in the midst of all the turbulent times, the bad times? Can you stick with that man? Can you stick with that woman? So you've got to understand that even in a relationship, that first must be a type of courtship, and don't just court a person just because that person has a nice physique, that she is fine or anything like that. Because if that was the case, everybody know me. I don't have a nice physique. I'm not nice build. I don't have no muscles or anything like that. But what do I have is a very precious. I'm a gentleman. I'm a good man. I believe in loving God. I believe in taking care of my family and stuff like that. So, you've got to understand what makes you pleasing to that man, what makes you pleasing to that woman. Because when it comes to the song, in the book of the Song of Solomon, he said, well, your beauty is like this, your eyes is like this, your hair is like this. But he also said in the second verse of the Song of Solomon, he said, kiss me with the kisses of your lips, for your love is better than wine. And I'm going to get a type of kickback. I'm going to get a type of feedback on this type of scripture right here. But when you are dating someone, you should make sure that that person is compatible with you. And that person, he might, do you like holding hands? Or are you like romantic? Do you like, bringing me flowers? Do you like kissing or stuff like that? You should make sure that all of those things in courtship is what you are looking for. He might not have everything. He might not check off every list. He might not check off everything. But you got to understand, when you're courting somebody, you've got to court them and make sure that they're compatible with you. You got to even ask some of the questions when it comes to the sexual nature in courtship. I'm not saying you should try the shoes on before, you buy them or whatever, although I have my opinions of that, but I won't state it right now on social media. But when it comes to certain things, you got to make sure that you're compatible with that person in courtship. You got to make sure that, well, do you like to work? Are you just a couch potato, just want to sit on the couch and don't do anything? Are you trying to be a provider if I, need you to provide for me? Are you just there just to, smooch off of me or whatever the case is? You got to make sure that you are compatible with that person. You got to make sure that he likes some of the things that you like, and you like some of the things that he likes, because there's going to come a time in a relationship when, opposite is not going to always attract. You got to understand in a relationship that sometimes you've got to make sure you are compatible when it comes to certain things. The woman might want, you need to ask the man the question, well, do you like, how many times do you like coming together, in a sexual nature? If that man say, well, I like it once a week, and he asks you, well, how do you like it? You might say, well, I like it, once every 6 months or once every year. That's not a type of compatibility, but you got to have somebody that you're compatible with when it comes to sex. You got to have a person that you're compatible with when it comes to finances. You got to have a person that you're compatible with in a lot of different areas, because when push comes to shove and the trials of life, when the trials in the relationship begin to fall, you got to make sure that you're in it for the long haul. You're not in it just because of a nice bill. You're not in it just because they have a nice car, they have a nice physique. But when you learning a man, when you learning a woman, you got to make sure that they're compatible in so many different areas, because once you're not compatible with that person will have certain desires, will have certain type of stresses, will have certain type of pressures outside of the marriage, outside of the courtship, that we say, well, I don't want to be with you because you not what I'm looking for. But when it comes to courtship, when it comes to finding a man, finding out what the woman or what that man is. You got to make sure that you're compatible. You got to make sure that you or him is compatible in so different areas, because when it comes to courtship, you got to make sure that I love you because of this, you love me because of that. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to try to lead you to a better way of relationship, a better way of thinking when it comes to courtship, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to the wedding, because, I've had plenty of experiences, good and bad, but I will always be a type of person that believes in communicating and understanding that this is how I feel and it pertains to courtship. So if I said anything today or tonight whenever you watch this video, I want you to give me a like. I want you to give me a thumbs up. I want you to give me hit that notification button, subscribe to my channel, because it is not just, jumping from knowing somebody, lusting after somebody to marriage, but you got to make sure that you court that person. You got to make sure that you're doing the right thing that's for the courtship, because courtship is very important when it comes to building a good and steady relationship. So until this time, next time, I want you to subscribe to my channel and say, Jess, I enjoyed what you said. So until this time, next time, I want to say God bless you, and God bless you.